Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Sunset Wildlife Connection on real-time animal rescue. So, if you guys are reading either the description right here or the description of this video, then you may know what might be going on a little bit. So, what happened? This happened literally earlier. Let's see, what time is it right now? It is 3:17. So let's talk about what happened, and then I'll talk a little bit about myself and who we are. So first off, again, as you read in the description, something almost got one of my chickens. So I free range my chickens almost daily. They free range in the afternoons. They usually lay eggs in the morning, and then I will let them go during the day to just hang out, eat some worms, get some free range time, cool down in the woods. So they do all kinds of different stuff during the day. But what happened today, it was about 1 o'clock when we let the chickens out. I luckily was at my desk, which has a sliding window door. So with a sliding window door, I was sitting at my desk and I saw a chicken go by and I saw a gray animal go by. So I have actually I have three gray cats, and sometimes they chase the chickens, and I just have to go over what I do to use a correction. Instead of like a no for your dog, I use a for my cats. So because I use that noise, I was like, okay, let me go outside. I'm going to hiss my cat. I was like 80% sure it was one of my cats, 20% that it was maybe something else. So I ran outside really fast. I ditched whatever I was doing, ran outside, and there was a gray fox chasing my lavender chicken. So I obviously went and chased the fox. I yelled, I went like, hey, and I yelled, I made myself really big. Gray foxes are actually pretty small, so that's why it was almost cat size. But again, I wasn't positive. It was running real, real fast. So instead, what I did is, again, yelled at it. I chased it off, and then I went and put all my chickens up. So I'm going to show you actually what happened and what happened with chickens. So follow me along as we talk a little bit about us. We are an exotic animal rescue and community outreach program. So we rescue exotic animals. We train them to be ambassadors for their species, and then we do community outreach programs with the animals. So that is who we are. I am the co-founder. My name is Margaret. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what happened and then what I did. So again, if you're just now hopping on, I free range my chickens daily. Now for sky predators, I have mockingbirds on the property. So if you don't know anything about mockingbirds are corvids. So they are related to crows and ravens. They're very intelligent and they do just that. They mock. So because they mock, they will actually mock the territory all the way around my property. So I'll try to show you, like all the way around my property, all those trees, they'll go around and they will mark, meaning that they actually make noises that are similar to a hawk, or it's mostly hawk noises that I hear. Every once in a while I hear an eagle noise, but it is mostly hawks that I hear. So then what happened, they will, again, watch the animals from the top. And I don't do anything. I never trained these birds. They are just were here naturally when I moved onto the property, and they chase off every hawk. Even when we got our owl, they went over there and were yelling at him for a little while, and he was like, what? I didn't do anything. And I think they realized that he wasn't a threat, so they have now left him alone. But they will chase off any kind of bird of prey. So I really don't worry too much about hawks. If I see a hawk, I will go put the chickens up. But I have not seen a ground predator since I've had my fox and my Joffrey's cat outside. And they have a very unique smell, especially the Joffrey's cat. But today I saw a predator for the first time in almost 2 years, and that was a gray fox. So if you're just joining, you have read the description, a fox almost got my lavender chicken. So I'm going to show you actually what chickens do. I'm going to try to see if I can switch the camera over. I'm just going to go like this so you guys can see all the plumage there. Now, I've actually already picked up some of the plumage, but what happens with chickens is, and poultry and other chickens or even birds out in the wild will do this. So if they're about to get caught by a predator, they actually poof and like release feathers all around, and those feathers have pheromones. So earlier when I was actually picking these up, there were already ants. Like there's an ant on this plumage right here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there are ants on them because they are attracted to the pheromone. And chickens will do this whenever they are about to get caught by a predator, because this might distract the predator, both like the explosiveness of everything happening with the feathers going everywhere, plus that pheromone on the edge of the feathers might distract them enough for the chicken to get away. And that could have been what happened here. Now, when I found the gray fox, it actually had a bunch of plumage and feathers in his mouth already. So he definitely tried to get to her and bite her. And I actually think that that spot right there where she was, I think that that's where he first got her. Now I'm going to show you, he did go and he chased her all the way through here and all the way back over there. So that's when I saw her. I heard her making noise. I ran outside, and there's a bunch more plumage over here when I actually found her, and I came out of this door. My desk is right there, and I saw this happening right in front of me. So I ran out the steps, and then I came over, and the gray fox was right here with her, and he didn't have her in his jaws or anything like that. But again, I saw the plumage all in his mouth. So I came out, I waved my arms, and I said, "Hey," and I yelled really loud. And then he ran this way down into our nature trail. And then here you can even see there's still tiny bits of plumage that was probably actually coming out of his mouth. But I chased him. He went down this nature trail, and then he actually went back into the woods this way. And I know for a fact that it was a gray fox because it had brown legs. It was smaller than a red fox. It was definitely not a red fox, and it's not a gray fox like our fox. I'm going to show you guys him in just a minute. But it was definitely a gray fox and not a red and not a coyote, because coyotes are all gray. So what I did, found all my chickens. I have 9 total. So I found all 9 of them. I found the 8 first that had not been attacked. I could not find my lavender chicken. I eventually found her up by my shed where she has never been before. But let's go check on her so that you guys can see that she is okay. I, again, did find her. I put all the chickens up. She's still pretty hot. It's obviously summer here in Florida, but you can actually see her back here. She is that lavender one in the back. You can see Angela right there is actually the orange one right here. Behind her, there is a black and white, and then next to her is the lavender, and that is the chicken that was almost attacked. You can still see that she's a little bit freaked out still. So I did feed them all. I may give them maybe some ice or some kind of a treat just to help cool her down and cool down her system. I'm sure she's pumped with adrenaline right now. But I am an exotic animal rescue and sanctuary, so I do not have just farm animals. So I talked a little bit, if you're just joining us, you've read the description. A fox almost got a wild one, not my fox, almost got to one of my chickens. And what chickens do is when they release all these feathers, a pheromone comes off onto those feathers. So what I did is I actually went through, I collected all the feathers after I found her, after I knew she was safe, and after I knew everything was okay. I don't see any blood or anything like that on her. I'm not going to catch her up. She's not the friendliest chicken in the world, but I definitely didn't want to catch her up and cause her any more stress if I didn't need to. Again, I see no blood. I see nothing going on. So what we're going to do, this is my fox, Michael J. I'm going to show you what I did actually. So we're going to go in here. So like I said, I collected all these feathers, and we'll go in here. Hi, baby. This is Michael J, and he is a red fox, actually. So you can see I put all these feathers down here, and that is a great enrichment for my fox and for my Joffrey's cat, who I'm going to show you here in just a minute as well. But these two actually loved the enrichment and being able to smell the pheromone. It's something different that they don't get to have every single day. So I was able to actually give them something and find honestly something positive out of this. Now, am I going to go and terminate that gray fox? I am not. So that actually does not help at all by just terminating one of the larger predators in the area. So again, I'm going to keep my chickens safe. We have plans for a perimeter around our entire property, but I would feel much better, obviously, if we had that. So that is our winter plans. And if you guys want to help us to perimeter our entire fence, then you guys can actually go in a link in the description for donation links. There's also like Amazon wish lists and other things like that. Now, this was Jax. I honestly feel like he's going to play with this a lot more. He is a nocturnal animal. Let's see if we can find him. I bet he's down here. Jack, are you in here? Oh, hi. Hello, kitty. Good baby. Yes, you are. So let's see if he wants to play at all with this. You're just going to smell me instead. Okay, you can just smell. Good job. You gonna play with it? You always put your locks back on. But you can see Jack's back there playing with it a little bit. But he's very nocturnal and it's very hot outside. You can see I'm like sweating and everything. So he will more than likely have feathers all over his house. But that is what I'm going to do. That's what I do with the feathers that are all over the place. I'm obviously not going to clean up every single one. I'll do that a little bit later when it's cooler. But I wanted them to be able to get to that pheromone as soon as possible. If you're just joining us, then you read the description. A fox almost got my lavender chicken. So what I did is I obviously gathered up all my chickens. I chased the fox off. So hopefully he won't come back. But if he does, I'll do the same thing and I'll try to chase him off again. You can see this is actually our red fox. He is not a gray fox. He is red. And I can tell that because he is large. This animal was not this large at all. He was more cat size, like a big cat, maybe like 12 pounds. So because of that, I, again, chased him off, got my chicken safe. Then I gathered some of those feathers that have the pheromone on it. When chickens or poultry or some birds are attacked, they will actually release a plumage that has a pheromone on it. And it's very enriching for our carnivores. So foxes are actually 80% carnivorous and then 20% herbivore. So they are omnivores. But this is a very great enrichment for these guys. So even though something negative happened, I'm going to keep my chickens very safe. Nothing bad happened to my chicken. Don't worry. She is okay. But if you guys want to follow along and follow our animal rescue journey, there again are links in the description. I am most active on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And you can find all of those under Sunset Wildlife Connection. There's also links to things like merchandise as well as donation links if you want to help us with our perimeter fence. That is our winter project that we will be doing. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.